We welcome to the show Bucket of the Toasters. How's it going?
Doing good, Chris. Thanks a lot for having me on the show.
No problem. So you're performing at the Folkestone Ska Splash in August. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I've been following that festival. It seems to be like a pretty good lineup of old school bands, a lot of whom we know, personal friends of the Toasters, including our good buddies from Finland, Saki and the Blaster Master.
Great. So have you done this festival before?
No, we haven't. I've done London International Ska Festival before, but never Folkestone. So this is the first time for us there.
Ah, you'll enjoy it. I went to the London International Ska Festival this year. It was very good.
Yeah, we were slated to play it, but there was a mix-up in the booking, so we ended up not doing that. But in August we're playing the Folkestone Festival. We're also doing a festival up in Sheffield with UB40 the week before,
great.
same weekend as Rebellion. So basically a mixed bag in England this year.
Yeah. Have you got any other dates in England, or are they your main two?
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple in June. We're playing at the Western Supermare Scooter Rally, and we're playing at Kingsmeadow, which is Wimbledon Football Club, in June. And then in August we're going to have a show at Gaz's Rockin' Blues in London, which is a Gaz Males club night there. And there's a gig in Luton at a place called Harvest Home, which is the night before Folkestone. So a few gigs here and there dotted around in the UK.
All good stuff. So who are some of yours and the band's influences?
Pretty much a lot of old school stuff, Motown, Joe Jackson, Elvis Costello, Chuck Berry, guys like that. And out of the ska movement, Toots and the Maytals, Desmond Dekker, and Two-Tone Ska, basically. Selector was my favourite two-tone band, I think, simply because they had the most reggae sound out of them. And Neil Davis, of course, a personal hero of mine. Last time we played in Birmingham, actually, he showed up and jammed out on a couple of songs with us, so that was great to meet him. But basically, everything up until about 1980 and not much past that.
Well, it's great music, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I listen to the music my girls are into, which is, basically post-hardcore screamo punk bands, and I can't really get into it,
Oh, well, at least it's not cheesy pop.
Yeah, at least worse. But thank goodness they don't like Justin Bieber.
Yeah, or One Direction or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, terrible.
So out of all the songs you've recorded, which are you most happy with?
That's hard to say. It's been a few of them. Well, I think songs that tell a story are probably my favourite ones, like Decision at Midnight, which was written in New York City when the riots were going on over the gentrification of the Lower East Side. It's like somewhat similar to what happened in Brixton back in the day. Decision at Midnight is that tune. Pirate Radio, which is a song about Radio Caroline that I used to listen to when I was a kid. And
yeah,
I think
really good one,
is another one, which is pretty much about the opening up of the new world by the Spanish and the British, based on built on the back of slavery, basically. So
yeah, I really like Pirate Radio. I play that a lot on the show. Yeah,
that was basically my tribute to Radio Caroline, and there's actually quite a nostalgic shot in that movie. At some stage, there's a shot of a kid like listening to the radio under his pillow with a torch, and that's what I used to do. So I said, man, that's me, But coincidentally, the song was written before the film came out.
Oh right. Oh, coincidence.
Yeah, they should have used my track for the music, shouldn't they?
They should have done, yeah. Yeah, it's a great catchy tune. I do like it. So are you planning on recording any new material soon?
Yeah, we just had a new 7-inch 45, which came out in the States, USA, last week. It's pretty funny that here we are in 2013, and the medium for putting new music out is like vinyl 45 singles again, It's pretty ironic how it's like come full circle. And so the next album will be built up of a compilation of singles, singles with dedicated B-sides, and then when all the singles have been produced, then we'll compile the album, and the album will be one side will be the A-sides of all the singles, and the B-side of the album will be a bunch of covers of 1960s tunes.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
When's that expected to be released?
Well, it's going to be over the course of time, so you'll basically see singles coming out over the course of the next 18 months, and then the album released after that. But the way things are at the moment, there's not really any rush to go in and churn an album out because nobody buys them anyway. So you're better off concentrating and writing a series of quality singles and releasing them individually, which is what we used to do back in the 50s and 60s, isn't it?
Yeah, and I suppose it's changed from the 70s and 80s where albums were the big thing, weren't they?
Well, 70s and 80s were, it's basically album, what they call AOR, like album-orientated radio. But I mean, several things have changed in the marketplace. One is that you can't really sell records through traditional retail channels anymore because the shops don't exist.
No.
People's buying habits are radically different. People buy more MP3s than they do compact discs, for example. But kids now and again, there's a resurgence in sales of vinyl. So basically, you've got to make your tunes available on a combination of those, and hopefully sell them at your live shows and some over the internet. So really, I mean, looking back to 20 years ago, the music business has turned completely on its head.
Yeah, it's totally different. So how did the ska and two-tone movement start in America?
Well, I mean, I went to the States in 1980 from London, and when I got over there, there had been apparently a two-tone band in New York in the 70s called the Terrorists, but by the time I got there in 1980, they weren't playing anymore. And so really the Toasters were the only thing going in New York for about 4 or 5 years, until the American scene sparked up around about 1984, 1985 in New York and in LA with bands like Fishbone. So really you could say there wasn't anything at all come 1980, and the Toasters, of course, were founded in 1981.
Thanks for joining us on the show.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and thanks for having us aboard.